DBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. And let me tell you something right now, man. Cris Cyborg has threatened to pretty much leave the UFC if they don't make a 145-pound division. I actually caught some of this on our Twitter timeline and actually, looked at it also via news articles. But Cris Cyborg is being very vocal about this. And you know what? I technically don't blame Cris Cyborg. I don't blame her because the way that she's been treated by the UFC, it's almost a wonder, like, why, she would even consider, even staying around, even if they did create a 145-pound division. See, here's the first thing, man, that's really jacked up. This is really jacked up. Like, okay, the super fight between her and Ronda Rousey that, everybody's wanting to see, that, Ronda ducked this fight. They ducked this fight. The UFC, Dana White, they ducked Cris Cyborg. They did. Ronda, can make 135 easily. Well, she can make the weight. Ronda has the genetics, and honestly, this is one of Ronda Rousey's really strong points about her body makeup, is that her body, she has the capacity to lose the weight. And she can lose the weight, have a good training camp, and she's not affected by the weight loss. But see, Cris Cyborg, who's naturally, her bone structure is very, very large compared to Ronda's, she's going to have a hard time making anything below 140. 140 is a struggle. You guys, y'all got to watch that Cris Cyborg documentary. You got to watch it, okay? Because you'll understand what this woman has to do to even make 140. And it's almost like Cris Cyborg is at death's door. And she looks bad, man, trying to make that weight. She's sick, man. She's coughing and all kind of stuff. And it's just like, for what? For what? So Dana White can spit in your face so you can only get $2,500 in Reebok money? Cris Cyborg get paid the exact same Reebok money that Lena Landsberg? That's a disgrace, man. That's a slap in the face. That's a spit in her face. Are you serious? She fought in Brazil. She got paid $2,500 Reebok money. The same thing as Lena Landsberg, her opponent. I'm thinking, why? Why is Cyborg getting the raw end of everything? And you know what? If Cyborg left the UFC, I think that's what they want. Because Cyborg is bad for the UFC. And I'm not saying like me as a fan, but she bad monetarily wise, because Cyborg is not just hurting these girls, man. Cyborg is wrecking these girls. She wrecking these girls' face. She putting these girls out of commission, man. And you think about it, man. Think about it. Think for 1 minute. Do you really think that Dana White want Ronda in the ring with Cyborg? Ronda Rousey would go in there and she'd get crushed, man. There's nothing that she can do. And Cris Cyborg really don't like Ronda Rousey, so she gonna take out that aggression even more, man. Ronda Rousey would get in there and get destroyed. Ronda would get destroyed. Ronda would get put to sleep. And even while Ronda is asleep, Cris would still beat Ronda because she don't like Ronda. That's just the way that is. Now, do you really think Dana White would want that? No, man. No, they don't want that. They're going to be happy if Cris leaves. And Cris thought about going, she said she wanted to go back to Invicta or go to Rising. And her friend Gabby Garcia is the star of Rising. So, I'm sure they would take Cyborg. I'm sure they would want Cyborg fighting for them. And I'm sure Cyborg could probably make more money, man. I'm sure she could, man. Because, man, just the whole makeup of how they doing her, man. Cris Cyborg trains hard. Yeah, I know she got popped once for steroids. I know she did. But see, since then, she's been doing her thing. She works very hard. And the Cris Cyborg documentary has given me a lot of respect for her. A lot of respect. And you know what? And I always say good things about her on this particular channel. I will. And then also on top of that, she seems like to be just a very genuine person, But, she's struggling financially. And she said that many times. She's struggling. She does these fitness classes, which, if you take a fitness class with Cris Cyborg, you're going to lose weight. You take a fitness class with her, you're losing weight because she's crazy. She's a beast when she's doing those classes. And she does a lot of other stuff. She gives lessons, she does seminars. So Cris Cyborg is doing what she has to do to make ends meet, and I can't knock this girl hustle, but she want that fight, and it's her turn to make the payday. Everybody else getting a payday. Everybody else is waiting, so now it's her turn, But everybody that she mentioned, man, Amanda Nunes don't want that work. She don't want that work. She won't. They're not going to go to 145 to fight her. And then, too, the UFC already made a statement saying that who is there possibly at 145 that she can fight? Because she done pretty much, Cris Cyborg done decimated all them chicks at 145. I mean, she have. And the number 8 person, Marloes Conan, Cyborg already beat her twice. So there's no need for that fight to happen a third time. That'd be dumb. Because Cris Cyborg would take Marloes Conan and wreck her again like she did the first time. That's just the way that is. That's just the way that is. Okay? She'll do it. Cyborg is not a joke. Okay? Also, too, you know, I've indicated some names who I think would give Cyborg a tough fight. I mean, I think Megan Anderson, the Aussie, I think she'll give her a tough fight. I don't think Megan Anderson can win, but I know Megan Anderson will at least last to the second round. And LaToya Walker. She got a good chin, and she's a solid striker. And Cyborg is a striker. So it'll be a complete stand-up game. But, you know, Cyborg will end up mauling them both. But these are two women that I think, in my opinion, that would be competitive against her, you know? But they got to do something. Because if not, I would hate to see Cris Cyborg leave the UFC. But if she did, you know what? She'll probably be better off financially if she did. She'll probably get to fight regularly. You know, she won't have girls backing out. You know, she won't. The problem, Cris Cyborg is just too good. She's too good. And when you're too good in a combat sport, man, people ain't going to want to fight you. They're not going to want to fight you. They're going to want to try to get an advantage. They're going to try to get you at a catch weight. Okay, so you can drain yourself. But they know you can't make 135. That's why they keep telling Cris Cyborg that the fight need to be at 135, okay? And Cris Cyborg speaking her mind, and I'm glad. I'm glad that this woman is speaking her mind. She's saying what's on her mind, because it really is asinine when you look at it, man. You mean to say that Cris Cyborg is not valuable? You can't make money off Cyborg? You can. I mean, you can make this thing and make her the unstoppable, like the unbeatable force. You can make Cyborg out of that kind of person. And people will buy into it, man. But that super fight, people want that fight. That's probably one of the most fights that people still want. Even though Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm, people want to see Ronda get in there against Cris Cyborg. That's what we want to see. Most of the fight fans do. But I can't blame Cyborg if she leaves. But the UFC and Dana White, they ain't going to be upset, man. Look, if she get out of there, good. Because now these girls are safe again. And Cyborg ain't going to be wrecking no more girls and putting them out for 6 months at a time. That's what's going to happen. And ain't nobody calling out Cyborg. Nobody. Okay, I done checked online. Everywhere I can find, there's nobody calling her out at 145. I mean, everybody, if they talk about Cyborg, they talk about fighting Cyborg at a catch weight. But ain't nobody really saying, look, give me Cyborg. Ain't nobody doing that. I mean, seriously. Because none of these girls, man, they know they can't beat her. They know they can't deal with her. They know that Cyborg is vicious. When she get in that octagon, she vicious, and she ain't trying to take no for an inch. And Cyborg got a chin from days. She withstood attacks from Jarena Jojo Bars, man, in a Muay Thai matchup. Jojo knocked her down 3 times, okay? Jarena knocked Cris Cyborg down 3 times. Cyborg got up, okay? Like, Cyborg got up. She kept hurting Cyborg. She hit Cyborg with everything she had, and Cyborg still kept getting up. And Jarena was like, damn. I mean, I interviewed Jarena. I actually interviewed Jarena on this channel, and Jarena was like, this girl tough. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody beating Cyborg. Not for a long time. Or you know what they'll try to do, man? They'll try to wait till Cyborg ages out when she loses a step. Okay, because right now she's 31. So they'll try to wait till she loses a step. But you know what's going to happen, man? See, the day going to come. Cyborg, they're going to have to fight her. See, they're going to have to see Cyborg because, see, Ronda Rousey, there's going to be a time where she ain't going to be able to make that 135 if she still stays in the sport. She ain't going to be able to make that 135 no more because her body's going to change as she gets older. It's going to change and she's going to have a hard time making it. Right now, Ronda's good. She can make it. But wait. Just wait. Wait for a couple more years. Her body going to change. Her hormones and chemicals in her body going to change. And she's going to have a hard time making that weight. And guess what she's going to have to do? She's going to have to see Cyborg. But I think that she'll actually go and retire before she even try to see Cyborg. And that, my friends, is just the way that is. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. What are you dudes waiting on? Subscribe. I'm done.